Hey ya ene, ay ya ra hey ha oe. Hey ya ene, ay ya ra hey oe. Ay yo hey ro hey yo. I hope you know I never wanna see you go. I hope you know you've always been the one.
My name is Kahanta Gerdo Deer. Everyone knows me as Gerdo. I am the ecological team lead here at Kayanase, and I'm from here in Six Nations, born and raised, and I've been with Kayanase full-time since 2016. So Kayanase is an ecological restoration company and nursery. So the plants that we grow here are all native to Southern Ontario, and we collect a lot of the seed ourselves and do our own propagation and sowing and rearing of the plants in our greenhouse. And the greenhouse we have here is 17,000 square feet. And our other side of the operation, the ecological restoration side, is where we go into the field and we work with different proponents and clients to plant native species on the landscape, whether those are trees, shrubs, woody shrubs, herbaceous species, and forbs, as well as grasses. So these are plants that have evolved in this area for thousands of years, millions of years. So Kayanase came into existence around the year 2006 as a result of negotiations to fund the restoration of the Red Hill Valley Expressway project. And so to mitigate some of the damage and construction that was being done in the Red Hill Valley and the rerouting of the creek, Red Hill Creek, part of that restoration was to put over a million plants over 5 years. And so Kayanase was started to help to accommodate bringing that expertise to the community, to train community members in propagating plants in a greenhouse, as well as doing the field work and things like monitoring for planting sites after the project, things like that. The other part of our operation is invasive species management. So a lot of what we do is also removing invasive trees and plants. So invasive trees and plants are plants or organisms that are introduced from other continents, and they're brought here to North America. And because they don't have herbivores or insects or diseases that control them from their home country, they tend to proliferate and take over areas. So part of our operation is controlling invasive species as well. And so part of my knowledge was coming in, being able to do that physical labor at the beginning. When I went back to school, I gained more knowledge on ecosystems management, and species identification was a major part of my education as well. So being able to identify all of our hundreds of species that occur here, or at least some of them that relate to our operation, has been valuable. I think now in 2024, there are similar organizations across Canada and the United States. Back in 2007, it was one of the few that existed in North America and around the world. There weren't too many organizations that were First Nations owned and operated when it comes to ecological restoration and doing exactly what we did, which was collecting the seed, propagating it, having that knowledge on invasive species, and restoring habitat and things like that. So yes, at the time it was one of the few, but now you can find organizations that are First Nations owned and operated that do similar work as to what we're doing now. And the industry itself has been growing now for the past maybe 5 to 8 years. We have a turtle garden, so it's a big garden shaped like a turtle, and it does have native plants in it. And so we'll be putting information in that garden about each plant and the sort of benefits it can bring to your property or to the ecology. Yeah, one of the goals of ecological restoration is to bring diversity. So you want to use native plants to bring a diversity of different organisms into that setting, and that's more conducive to a healthy ecosystem, is when there's more diversity. And native plants support more organisms than plants that are brought in from other countries or other places in the world. And so that's what birds and insects and other, just the ecology in general needs diversity in order to be sustainable and resilient to things like climate change, for example.
You know, I never wanna see you go. I hope you know you've always been the one. I hope you know I'll never break your heart in two. I hope you know there's no one else like you.